دلوقتي هنبتدي الجلسة الأولى، كسر الحواجز وبناء الجسور، إطراء تعاونية للنهوض بالتكنولوجيا الزراعية. We start our first session, Breaking Barriers, Building Bridges, Collaborative Framework for Agriculture, for Agri-TechAdvancement. Please welcome Mr. Ticho Vermeulen, who's going to moderate the first session. Please welcome Senor Tibiero Chieri, Director of IX Cairo Office. دكتور علاء عزوز رئيس قطاع الإرشاد الزراعي بوزارة الزراعة واستصلاح الأراضي. السفير السيد هشام بدر، المنسق الوطني للمبادرة الوطنية للمشاريع الخضراء الذكية وجوائز التميز والمبادرات. دكتور عادل زقيزق، مستشار الاتصالات والتطوير الرقمي باتحاد منتجي ومصدري الحاصلات البستانية. مستر هشام النجار، نائب مدير المجلس التصديري المصري ورئيس مجلس إدارة شركة ديلتكس. مستر محمد أبو باشا، Chairman of Egyptian Junior Business Association. مستر محمد الدمرداش، الرئيس التنفيذي لشركة إنجازات ومؤسسها. دكتور رشا حسني، Assistant Professor of Civil Engineer, Heliopolis University. Thank you. We'll start our first session with Mr. Ticho, the Agriculture Counselor from the Holland Embassy.
Yeah, thank you, and it's an honor to be here. I was very inspired by this conference. Yeah, please have a seat. We'll do some first round of introductions. But yeah, I'm excited to be here to engage with you, with the audience. So it's going to be an interactive session. I'm going to ask the audience to really pitch their perspective on what needs to be done to change barriers or build bridges in Egypt. And then we'll have interaction with the audience. But first, maybe why this session and why I'm here. The Netherlands has a big trade relation with Egypt. We have a big also aid and support relation in Egypt. I thought there was a slide for it. Yes. So we import from Egypt to the tune of about 500 million euros per year, and that's significant enough for us to have a very strong business relation here. And we export as well. Yes, can I have the next slide, please? Yes. And indeed, so for import, you know as well of the fruit sector. Rotterdam Harbour is, of course, our cornerstone, and Schiphol of indeed our trade hub. We develop a lot of knowledge in that, and I think that gave us the position of being a central player in Europe. We're very excited to work on that with Egypt. A number of our companies have set up shop here, and I think a couple of the big names are on the list. Rijkswaan is also presented here through the AES, or the EISA. And Kernal in nuts, Delphi in consultancy. And I think our involvement is more than just trade. We as the Netherlands see the relationship with Egypt as an important hub for this for stability in the region. We also see it as a big long-term investment in food security, both for Egypt and Holland. So we've set up a lot of programs together with WFP, with GIZ, and through the EU, but also just by ourselves on food security, on inclusiveness, and as most things on climate, water, smart agriculture. Next to that, we have a lot of government-to-government support, setting up or supporting the Egyptian institutions to perform better. And I think that's why we're here on this globe, to support each other, to collaborate. So that's and then introducing the topic of today. We see the relevance of innovation. Holland is a leading country in agriculture due to our innovative mindset. I'm not going to say that Egypt needs to develop that same culture. I think Egypt has its own strength, and I think that's what we want to discuss today. We see an ambition that Egypt is heavily reliant on agriculture, has been mentioned before. So 11.5% of Egyptians work in horticulture and agriculture, and we expect that to only grow. We have in Egypt of different speeds, I always say. You have the big companies, and we have Maba Farms presented, and maybe Hisham Nagar from Daltex also pops in. And that's really the large scale. We have a huge SME sector, mostly around the fringes of the Delta, that really struggle to get an access to market, that struggle with an access to knowledge and investment. And you have the small scale farmers in the Delta, where we as aid organizations and donor countries put a lot of effort on. And those are three different speeds that I think require three different approaches in terms of innovation and in terms of supporting them to adopt new technology and new varieties and what have you. So Egypt is unique in that and has its unique challenges. But Egypt, in the size that Egypt is, in being one of the main exporters of fruit and vegetables, one of the main countries for production in this area, Egypt does not rank very high in R&D development. It does not rank high in introducing or implementing knowledge. There are few value chains. There's little collective R&D, and what I see in the system, in the food system, is that there's a race to the bottom. I say that from a European consumer. Egyptian produce is not ranked as the high quality produce generally. And you do have the potential, and I think that's where I would like to challenge all the speakers and then the audience with. How can we as Egypt step out of this? What does it require institutionally? What does it require in terms of collaboration? And we have an amazing panel of people from different backgrounds, and I'd really ask them to speak from their point of view. From your point of view, what would be the best step forward? And so first I gave them each 5 minutes to speak. The keynote speaker gets double, 10 minutes, but the rest I'll keep concise to 5 minutes, where they can briefly share, this is my point of view, or this is the view from, the point where I have my view from. And this is what I think we as Egyptian society, we as sector or government or us as collective need to grow towards. Yes, so without further ado, I'll introduce the speakers one by one as they get their 5 minutes. But first, Tiberio Chiari from the IECS office. So that is the Italian aid organization, very active in Egypt. Italy has a huge portfolio of programs, projects in Egypt, and is a very strong partner. Dr. Tiberio.
Okay. Sabail here, everybody. And sorry, take me. Okay, can you put my presentation there? So, sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, and everybody, it's really a pleasure, really, to be here. And I just have a very exciting team and a very complex team to address. And so I'm going to be very, very roughly discussing about this with some key ideas, and I let the other to discuss in deep and to discuss accordingly. So, I will set the scene, first of all. The scene is clear, and I'm going to speak about the smallholder farmers, which is the base of your agriculture, and I want to really greet the hard work the farmers are doing since century for their family, for the benefit of everybody of us. And I'm speaking about the 4, 5 million, 8 million people gather in thousands of cooperatives, you know, disseminated all over the country, cultivating 8, 9, 10 million fedans. For sure, they are poor in land, poor in mechanical equipment, in competencies, in warehouses, and they are poor in money, of course. But I put on the other hand, what is the future? The future and the present, the cities, the town, where the consumption is currently done, and I think where is the new class of consumer, the citizens. What does it mean? That there is a distance, so this distance is clear to everybody how to cope with them. Of course with innovation, of course with research, of course with investment, but I think you have to think about starting from the value chain. The common value chain you can see here is a clear and classical supply chain. The supply chain is like a cascade of product from a step to the other till the final, the citizen. But I think that we have to revert, we have to change the vision. It is not a top from the input to the consumer, but we have a pull effect. The consumer are now the one who determine what has to be produced. And so it's a new change, especially in the farmer community, that has to be changed. So what means in the future that new path of delivery of product has to be developed? This is the future, because the towns, these are demanding new product, homogeneous product, standardized product in quantity, not in small bags. The future of the consumption is not going to be in bags, in sack, in box. The future is one unit of marketable product is the truck of 20, 40 tons, homogeneous truck. The homogeneous truck means the same product on it, and the price will be determined by this truck. What does mean? New relationship among the actors and new flow of benefit. The benefit is in green on the top. The product is on the lower side in yellow. Of course, there are going to be resistance. There's going to be problem to change the system. And I think that the first step is from the farmer. A tremendous leap has to be done by farmer to enter in this new paradigm. I think it is a paradigm and a change that cannot be avoided. So right now it's a matter of tactic. Which is the strategy? And I think that the strategy, and I'm sorry, it is very, very, very below. You cannot see it. And I go further. It is to create a very simple model, a very coherent model in which all the innovation has to be put together. It's going to be a sort of control environment in which the innovations, we're going to speak about process innovation. All the innovation has to be coherent among them. It's not just to introduce one step by step, but to introduce the full package, to check its functioning, to assist in the first year. The very first year is the base for success for the future, and to guarantee that this model can function and can get money from the buyer. As soon as you have this, the process will move ahead, because you have to be prepared to this scaling up. No innovation without scaling up. I think it's clear to everybody dealing with startup. The startup is meaningful if there is no scaling up. I will stop at this point just to say that as Italian Corporation, we are very proud to be part of this strategy to sustaining it with many projects. Okay, sorry, I'm going to not to be killed. Thank you. And As Italian Corporation, we are dealing with many projects dealing exactly with this model, and we are also proud to be the one who are implementing very successful EU-funded projects like CAFE, Zira, you can see in the booth, with strict partnership. And I want to greet really the research institution of Egypt, the extension system of Egypt, all the institutions, governorates, and ministry that allow this to move ahead. So we're here to deal not only with technology. Technology is its instruments, but empowering the people for the better future of Egypt. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tiberio. It's indeed so. Yeah, market-driven and value chain development is the advice of the first speaker. We quickly go through to the next one. I'll remain here, and we have the speakers remain seated to give their pitch. We're going to have a bit of a challenges with languages now, because I think you're going to speak in Arabic, and I hope I can get a bit of information of that speech. But we'll give it a go. Go for it. This is yeah. Sorry, let me introduce you first. Well, no, you introduced yourself, Dr. Ala. You heard we've heard you just now. Itfadal. Just stay seated there, and you can.
Yes. علاء عزوز رئيس قطاع الإرشاد الزراعي بوزارة الزراعة وإصلاح الأراضي. علاء عزوز Head of Agriculture and Extension Sector, Ministry of Agriculture and Land Reclamation.
Yeah, but you can start and also give your 5-minute pitch.
Okay. طبعا السيشن دي عنوانها كسر الحواجز وبناء الجسور أطر تعاونية لتطوير التكنولوجيا الزراعية. الحقيقة طبعا يعني العنوان ده لما نشوفه كده نلاقيه إنه هو يعني بيحمل في طياته الكثير من الأمل، لكن أيضا في نفس الوقت هو بيعكس الكثير من التحديات اللي بنواجهها في سبيل تحقيق طفرة حقيقية في التقدم التكنولوجي في مجال الزراعة. والحقيقة طبعا هذه الطفرة يجب أن تكون في مجال البحث والتطوير، وأيضا على مستوى تبني المزارعين والمجتمع الزراعي لهذه التقنيات، لأننا هدفنا الأساسي هو نقل التكنولوجيا وتوصيل كل ما هو جديد من تكنولوجيات وابتكارات وتقنيات إلى المزارع الصغير وإقناعه بها من خلال وسائل متعددة، ثم بعد ذلك يتبناها المزارع ويقوم بتطبيقها بشكل عام. في الحقيقة لما نيجي نتكلم عن تطبيق التكنولوجيا في مجال الزراعة في مصر، فلازم نتكلم بداية عن مجموعة من النقاط تتمثل في البحث العلمي والتطوير Research and Development، لأننا فعلا عندنا في مصر مراكز بحثية وجامعات زي ما ذكرت في الكلمة الافتتاحية بتضم كوادر وخبراء في مختلف المجالات، وبنشتغل على بحوث وبنطبقها تطبيق عملي وبننقلها من خلال يمكن عندنا مجموعة من المشروعات بيشارك فيها الأستاذ الدكتور مجدي علام الخبير الدولي بالتعاون مع عدد من الهيئات الدولية، وبنوصل لما نتكلم عن تغير المناخ ووسائل الرصد والتنبؤ ونقلها للمزارعين ومحطات التنبؤ اللي منتشرة في محافظات الجمهورية، وإننا دلوقتي من خلال تطبيقات إلكترونية بنخلي المزارع يشوف الكلام ده بنفسه واتدرب عليه، وبيقدر بمنتهى السهولة يعمل يعني يبقى عنده الفوركاستنج أو البريدكشن اللي بيحصل ويشوف كل ده قبليه بوقت، بالإضافة للمراكز المعلوماتية اللي عندنا في وزارة الزراعة اللي بتنقل الكلام ده للمزارعين. أنا بقول ده بس كمثال. لما نيجي نتكلم عن التحدي الثاني عندنا علشان نقدر ننقل الابتكارات والتكنولوجيات، فنلاقي التحدي ده هو الإرشاد الزراعي ودوره في نقل المعرفة، لأننا لو عملنا أبحاث وعملنا ابتكارات وشفنا ونقلنا تكنولوجيات وتقنيات وما قدرناش من خلال الإرشاد الزراعي إن احنا نوصلها، فده هيكون عندنا كده عائق او مشكله في اننا نوصل الكلام ده للمزارعين او الافكار دي للمزارعين. لكن من خلال التكنولوجيات ومن خلال التكنولوجيا الرقميه والتطبيقات الالكترونيه بنقدر فعلا نوصل كل الافكار دي للمزارعين، وبنساعدهم في تطبيقها وبنعمل لهم عليها كمان تدريب عملي. الجزء اللي بعد كده هو التمويل والتحفيز. لازم يبقى فيه تمويل علشان من خلال هذا التمويل نقدر نعمل الحقول الإرشادية، مدارس المزارعين الحقلية، نماذج بايلوت للمشروعات اللي بتطبق التكنولوجيات الجديدة دي زي الري الحديث والطاقة الشمسية زي ما اتكلمنا من شوية. مش عايز اخوض في موضوعات اخرى عشان بقية الزملاء اكيد هم هيغطوها يعني. الشراكات والتشبيك ما بين الجهات والهيئات والمؤسسات ده عامل اساسي في نجاح منظومة التطوير والتعاون وبناء الجسور علشان نقدر ننقل التكنولوجيات الحديثة لكل المزارعين والعاملين في القطاع الزراعي. يمكن القطاع الزراعي يعني عندنا نموذجين، عندنا نموذج رجال الأعمال والمستثمرين، ودول بيقدروا بنفسهم يطبقوا التكنولوجيات الحديثة ويقدروا يجيبوا الخبراء اللي يساعدوهم في الكلام ده. والجانب الثاني اللي هم صغار المزارعين، وده دورنا كوزارة الزراعة ان احنا نساعدهم بالتعاون مع الهيئات والمنظمات الدولية ومنظمات المجتمع المدني ومع شركات قطاع خاص كمان. طب هل الدولة المصرية بتولي هذا الأمر اهتمام كبير جدا؟ الحكومة التوجيهات دايما، يمكن عندنا الإرشاد الزراعي واللي هو مسؤول عن نقل التكنولوجيا ومسؤول عن نقل المعرفة، سيادة رئيس فخامة رئيس الجمهورية دايما بيوجه بالاهتمام بالإرشاد الزراعي وتطويره وتحديثه وتوفير الإمكانيات اللازمة ليه. فده بيبين لنا قد إيه الحكومة المصرية والدولة المصرية بدءا من القيادة السياسية بتولي نقل التكنولوجيا الزراعية للمزارع وتطوير أدائه، بتوليه اهتمام كبير جدا. طيب احنا لما نيجي نتكلم عن التكنولوجيا الرقمية الزراعة في هذا المجال، بداية احنا بقى عندنا منصة رقمية إلكترونية بتقدم كل الخدمات للمزارعين المصريين من خلالها، والحصول على الخدمات زي مثلا الحيازة الإلكترونية وكارت الفلاح. وهذه التجربة تجربة كانت تجربة سرية وناجحة جدا. اوكي. ايضا عندنا توسع في استخدام نظم الري الحديث، والدولة بتوفر تمويل لهذا الامر بدون فوائد وبالتقسيط على 10 سنوات، وهناك مبادرة لان المدة تطول وتبقى 20 سنة بالاضافة لكل الدعم الفني اللي احنا بنقدمه. لما نتكلم عن الزراعة والاستشعار عن بعد والنظم المعلومات الجغرافية، كل دي تقنيات احنا بنطبقها. وزارة الزراعة بتساعد كل الشركات الناشئة، كل الستارت ابس، وبتقدم لهم كل الدعم الفني. ويعني نظرا لضيق الوقت يعني انا هكتفي بده وبشكر حضراتكم جميعا.
Thank you very much, Dr. Allah. With my colleague Ahmed Tarini, I managed to pick up a couple of keywords: R&D ecosystems. I've heard you talk about information centers, extension services, and indeed also new digital tools to get information across. Also heard you say collaboration and partnership. I think that's a key word. And indeed also access to finance in the different programs that you're involved in. Thank you very much. I'm going to stick to the order of speakers that I have here to not confuse the people with the slides. And then it's the turn of Ambassador Hisham Badr. I'm very excited that you're here. You have had quite some time to introduce yourself, and you're very good at English. Can I challenge you to give your pitch in English? You can also stay there. That is. Okay, you give your speech now in English.
Yes.
Yeah, just yeah.
Do you have a presentation?
Do you have? Did you get a? Is there slides for? Yes, Iowa. Okay. Then you can. But you still, it's only 5 minutes.
Sure.
Huh? Good.
Not more than 3-4 hours. You want it in English, all of it. Sure. فين البرزنتيشن يا ولاد؟ نعمل ايه بقى؟ ندوس ايه؟ ايوه ندوس لا. هم طلبوا ان احنا نعمل دي بالانجليزي فهنعملها بالانجليزي. الانيشيتيفز under the auspices of His Excellency the President عبد الفتاح السيسي
and of course by decree of the Prime Minister, and is under the auspices, under the implementation of Minister Rani Al-Mashat, Minister of Planning, Economic Development, International Cooperation, with the cooperation of Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Telecommunications, Local Development, Environment, and National Council for Women. And of course, Dr. Mahmoud Muhyiddin is the head of the judging committee in the initiative. These are we've talked a bit in the presentation about the achievements that was done. That one of the things that I forgot to tell you is number 6 here, اللي أصبحت المبادرة منصة للعمل المناخي على المستوى الوطني. The initiative has become a platform. It's the major platform for green projects in Egypt. So if anyone has a green project in Egypt, now he knows where to apply. And it includes the universities, etc., and the youth. It plays, of course, an important role in making strategic partnerships in Egypt. What do? We train people, we give them capacity building, we hold virtual and physical sessions in universities, in governorates, in different institutions. فجزء مهم من المبادرة بندرب الناس، ندرب الجامعات، بندرب في المحافظات، إن المحافظات نفسها ما كانتش عارفة يعني ايه أخضر وذكي، فقدر هناك في جوه كل محافظة ناس منسقين مسؤولين عن المشروعات الخضراء الذكية. Therefore, we have been able to, within the governorates, within the different institutions, we have been able to put focal points responsible for green, smart projects, and therefore making a step forward in Egyptian government dealing with institutions, dealing with what is green, what is smart, what is competitive, etc. These are some of the figures. What did we do? We trained 1,500, 11,000 till now. How many hours of training, virtual or physical, in different universities, online, etc. You can see the statistics for yourself. Of course, they're written in Arabic, but it just shows you the composition, that there's a lot of work that's been done. This is in the third round, how many trainees and how many hours of training, both physical and in different provinces. We, as I said, we presented this to Ms. Meda, which is the Egyptian, under the Prime Minister's office, the Egyptian office responsible for small and medium enterprises, to give them so that the top 500 projects can get services. This was the result of the statistics. Some of the projects asked, we want financial services, others said we want non-financial. فاحنا من جزء من التدريب مس ميدا قلنا لهم طيب، راح سالوا الناس انتوا عايزين ايه؟ عايزين خدمات ماليه، عايزين خدمات غير ماليه، هكذا. وده النتيجه financial and non-financial communication between the projects and Ms. Meda. How do we pick them? It's very important. ازاي بنختار المشروعات؟ عمليه التقييم. Very important. How do you pick these projects? Evaluation is very important. Therefore, it shows you this is a cycle beginning from the governorates, then going through the national level, UN, banks, private sector, international institutions, so that it will be a fair and transparent process. And these are some of the criteria. ايه المعايير؟ يعني انت بتختارهم على اساس ايه؟ مشروع ايه؟ What are the criteria? The green component, the smart component, the empowerment component, replicability, the impact on development component. All of these take grades in a template that is done, and people give them grades, which then give them the capability to go on. This shows again the evaluation process, 17,000 hours in different places, in the local level, the government level, national level, UN, etc. These are, of course, the numbers of on the national level, which were presented in the third. And of course, you can see the figures. الناس قاعدة فمش قادرين تشوفوا الرقم اللي وراه. These are the winning or the projects that have become eligible at the last final round. This is a very important statistic. دي حاجة مهمة جدا. لما الناس تسأل طب ايه القطاعات اللي قدمناها مصر؟ لما فتحت الباب للمصريين كلهم، ايه المشروعات الزراعية؟ ايه نوع المشروعات اللي تقدموا بيها المصريين؟ اهو. إدارة الزراعة المستدامة، الانبعاثات، الطاقة الجديدة، الاقتصاد، المباني، السياحة. طبعا في حتة تحت مش باينة. These are the different sectors. including green sustainable agriculture, reducing emissions, renewable energy, green economy, green buildings, green fashion, green industries, etc., green tourism. 1 minute. This is others of the projects that have. These are the projects as regards food security, projects related to food security, agricultural sustainability and water security. These are some of the winning projects. كل دول مشروعات عندنا عشان ما نبقاش بنتكلم كلام نظري، بني ادمين موجودين معانا حبه منهم لكن ممكن توصل عليهم ودول الشركاء. We could not have done it with this, and at the end would like to thank all our international counterparts, all the United Nations and all the people represented here for this. أشكركم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Excellency. That was indeed an impressive portfolio of programs with a very clear impact orientation and indeed an amazing international network. I'd like to give the floor to Dr. Adel Zakajzak, yes, from UPOV. Yes, UPEC. Yes, please, just stay there, please. And then I'll... If you can do it in English, that would be great. Yeah, Dr. Adel is from UPEC, and the Netherlands have a long-standing relation with UPEC. UPEC was started under Sadat as a cooperation to indeed enhance and improve agriculture in Egypt, and they have been, especially in the seed potatoes, have been a very trustworthy and long-term partner of one of our Dutch companies, HSBC.
Thank you. I would like actually to focus on a very important element in the whole ecosystem of entrepreneurship. If we talk about smart agriculture, we might find some other terminologies, climate smart agriculture, precision agriculture. All of them rely on agri-entrepreneurs. And when we say smart agriculture, we should consider the entire food system. It is not just the plot of land, where the preparation of the land, plantation, pest control and such. No, it includes the entire system. And here we will see the marketing, pre-harvest and post-harvest practices, lending, processing until we reach the consumers. Why the agri-entrepreneurs are the core of the entire ecosystem? Because they are like the farmers. We all serve farmers. All our efforts should end up with a benefit to the farmers. And at the end, it's a win-win situation. The same with agri-entrepreneurs. When we focus on them, that means sustainability. And let us agree that the progress or the advancement in of the agricultural sector will be led or triggered by agri-entrepreneurs. They studied digital agriculture, programming, and all that kind of stuff. And actually, in each year, Egypt generates a lot of entrepreneurs. There is, for example, a competition called FAOJect. It is run on yearly basis, where a lot of teams from 38 universities graduated under different themes. One of them entrepreneurship, one of them digital agriculture and programming. So we have two categories. One category is the new graduates, and the second category is the entrepreneurs who are already in the market. Both of them actually need support. I do not like to use the word I dream or I have a dream, but let me use I do visualize a unit for agri-entrepreneurship support. Would be a great support to this category. Will combine all of them, and will be a great opportunity for many other international organizations to support this. And they deserve this because they need a lot of support. And I see actually also the minister of agriculture himself personally, in addition to the Academy of Scientific Research, to sit with them, like we see the Minister of Industry sitting with investors. So this unit actually can play an important role in networking, in facing or supporting them in the establishment, and in some other phases of testing and such. Some of them did not show up because they need support, and some of them already showed up, but they quit. I believe that we should not lose any of them. They are the real future of the agricultural technology in Egypt. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adel. A very clear plea for focus on agri-entrepreneurship. You'll probably be happy to hear then that the Dutch Embassy organizes a job fair during the Sahara, no, not the Sahara, the Food Africa in coming December. And this summer we launch an agri-innovation hub to support scale-ups in their development. A very clear pitch, very clear message. Thank you. And with that, we make a very good transition from the more institutional mindset to the business and corporate mindset. And I'm happy to introduce Mohammed Abu Basha, the director or CEO of Maba Farms. He's very connected to us as embassy, again, starting through the potato business, where he has a long-term relation with one of our Dutch seed potato producers. But he's way more than that. He's also the chairman of the EGB, the Egypt Junior Business Association. And he has a very clear view on innovation and improving that in Egypt. Please, Mohammed.
Thank you, Tico, and thank you everyone for attending today. I'll be speaking here on the capacity as chairman of the EJB, not my company. All right, so I think this will fit more today's scene. So let me first start by introducing or giving a brief introduction about the EJB. The EJB is the Egyptian Junior Business Association. It's an NGO. It's a business association. All the members in the association, they're from 21 to 45 years old. That's why the junior. And they're all either founders of their own businesses, or it's a long-established business for their second or third generations. We have different committees in the association. Amongst them, I don't want to go into all the details for the time, but amongst these committees are Agricultural Committee and Entrepreneurship Committee. The goal of the association, two of the goals of the associations basically is to act as a bridge between the private sector and the government by introducing different initiatives, policy papers, advocating for things that could make sector better, and also as a bridge between companies within the organizations and within Egypt itself. We do this by different networking events. So we have one of the things that we're working on right now is that we're building a platform that connects all the entrepreneurs with innovative ideas in different sectors, and amongst them is the agriculture sector, and connect them with businesses. Because one of the challenges that we see, and I saw it in my own business, is I'm not aware of all the startups that are there, or the innovations, especially in the agricultural technology. So here we're acting as a bridge to connect those people together, and also to connect it with the rest of the companies in the country. So that's it, basically what we're doing and what we're working on. We have different, we also in our agricultural committee, we have different companies. We have all the big farmers and the big exporters. In addition to that, we have all the new technologies. We have companies that introduce digitalization, precision farming. All of these new technologies also they need that all the big companies are not aware of. So here we also act as a bridge again to connect those companies together. That's it, really.
Thank you. So it's really
And-
your pitch. That's partly your point of view. Every point of view is a view from a point. Your point of where you have your views is indeed the EGB and your network activity. And what do you say would be an added? So if we want to have agri-innovation, if we want technology thrust in agriculture,
All right.
what?
Okay, so our view is basically, like I said, we connect the people together. All right. There's a lot of new technologies out there, a lot of startup companies out there that they don't have the network, they don't have the platform. So we act as a platform. All right. We could also work with the extension services, for example, for the smallhold farmers. The smallhold farmers in all the country, they're not really aware of the new technologies. They're not aware of the digitalization. They're not aware of the precision farming. They're not aware of new technologies to help reduce the amount of water. Right. So this is something we could do as an association, is to work with the government, with the extension services, to provide and to inform them what are the new technologies in the market, what are the new startups that are in the agri sector, because a lot of them, like I said, all of these startups, they don't have access to the businesses, especially when it comes to the small businesses, right, and the small farmers. So we could act as a bridge, and this is part of our mandate, to act as a bridge between those businesses and their customers, basically.
Thank you. So an outstretched arm to the institutions to use also those networks to increase technological advancements in Egypt. Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you.
And then I go to the second speaker of the business community, Mohammed El Demadash. And we only just met today, but we had kind of through digital communication had met already, because I've met proposals of Mohammed on very exciting, very innovative ways of looking at water and energy management. Very sustainable concepts that he has developed, and he offers them to indeed the smaller community, smaller enterprises, smaller businesses through a pay-as-you-go concept. This is very innovative globally. He's won a couple of prizes with it and has attracted a lot of foreign investment for it. But I'll leave you to boast further, and I challenge you, kind of, what would you like to give us as audience as future steps?
Thank you, Tico. Thank you for the introduction and for being here. My name is Mohammed El Demirdash. I'm the co-founder of Ingazet, and we started just a brief introduction about the company. We started 14 years ago. And the idea was very basic, is that how to avail the main anchors of agricultural development or any other applications, industry or name it, through power and water that is main as a service. So we deliver power and water as a service without any capital expense, without any technical barriers, so that the farmer is able to use the water and the energy and pay as you go, pay at the end of the harvesting season as an operational expense rather than a capital expense. And the main idea was that these barriers for the capital barrier, the technological barriers, are key disablers to the farmer to adopt these technologies. So if we remove it, and then he pays what he consumes, then that makes better sense for them. This business model was stemming from a basic narrative that we believed in the start of the company, is that the power, water, and agriculture are universally integrated. That's what the universe implies. They are universally integrated, and that's how it is naturally. But in the business world, it is not. So there are people who understand energy alone, people who understand water alone, and people who understand agriculture alone. Investment Bible is also different. Financing power is different than financing water, than financing agriculture with different risk profiles. The formula was that if we are able to deliver the power and water to the small farmers, the farmer himself, I mean, we don't need to reinvent the wheel by transforming the farmer into a tech savvy or a marketing savvy. All what they need is the power and water, where they have a meters to have it. And we give them from the front end of the operations and access to the commercial markets through contract farming applications. And then we deliver the technical support. So the infrastructure, the access to market, the knowledge, and we deliver it all as a service so that they can do what they do best, which is farming. This formula had worked for us in the past 14 years. We're facing a good trajectory as a company. Started in 2011 in Egypt. Now we are existing in 3 countries, UAE and Lebanon. From $10 million of investment, as Ambassador Hisham had introduced us, to around now $50 million of investments in this concept. And the very basic things are still the same. If we do not need to reinvent the wheel, we do not need to change what is historically been there for thousands of years. We need to support people to do what they do best and enable rather than disrupting the way it's actually happening. That's basically the formula, Tico. Yeah.
And in terms of collaborative frameworks for agri-tech advancement, so in terms of what do you see that we need to push for as a sector in Egypt, as agricultural sector?
In my opinion, I mean, technology is not a destination. I mean, agri-tech is not the end goal. Agri-tech is a mean to deliver an end goal of food production. So we always fall into the trap of that we want agri-tech to rule, but the idea is that agri-tech has to be used to enhance the situation. So technology is there to serve the farmer and not there to, I mean, as an end goal on its own. So what the idea is simply that tech is a big business, infra is a big business. We need to put this together to enable the farmer to do his traditional work, which is, those are the guys at the forefront of the climate challenge, and we need to deliver what they do know how to do. The River Nile in Egypt had been generous enough to deliver this proposition for thousands of years, and we need to figure out how to do this in the desert for the first time in such an ancient history. Yeah.
Thank you. Agri-tech not as a goal, but as a means to an end. Thank you. Lastly, I'd like to introduce Dr. Razna Hosni, works as assistant professor at the Heliopolis University, but has a long career before that in climate smart agriculture. I'm really keen to hear from the Heliopolis University what your perspective is. And you want to stand here? Still 5 minutes, huh? Or just the pointer, because there's a presentation. Oh, no, nada is out. If you get. Yeah. No, it's there. It's still there, yes. I think technology is going to put the slide up, and then you can start. Maybe you can start introducing yourself further. Oh, there we go.
Hello everybody. I am Dr. Rasha Hosni. I'm co-BI for WhatDev project. In addition, I'm assistant professor in Heliopolis University. We will talk today about WhatDev. First, let's introduce the name. It is a climate smart water management and sustainable development for food and agriculture in East Africa. It focuses mainly on 2 targeted groups. The first one is governmental and national ministries, and the second one is farmers, which is one we are interested in today. There are 10 partners of the project, and Heliopolis University is one of them. We will talk today about Egypt case study. The study area was selected to be Sharqiya government at East Delta. Its climate is dry at summer and moderate in winter with rare rainfall. The project deal mainly we will talk today mainly about two output of the project. The first one was pest management practices in agriculture that cope with climate change. The first step in the project was to determine the study area. We select the areas around Sikkim farm. Then we collect the data and analyze it, and we done this in a part of a community-based learning program, which is a unique program for students to engage in the community from their junior life. Then we determine the 3 best practices we will implement: intercropping, composting, and water user association. As for intercropping, we will simulate the forest reaction, which is trees in addition with crops. Farmers select some fruits like oranges and some vegetables to be planted to improve health of the soil and the crop yield. The second one was composting, which is trying to get rid of the wastes of animal wastes and agriculture in a good way, and to use it to improve the soil health, and in addition to yield, crop yield. The third one was user association. This is to improve the efficiency of water usage and to use modern irrigation technologies like sprinkler or drip irrigation. What the success in this project is 55,000 Faddan was already implemented these 3 BMBs through the project life. In addition, professional capacity building was done. 5 young professional engineers was taking a comprehensive training on water resource management in Italy into 3 modules. The last one was in the last February. These engineers deliver their knowledge to farmers in farmer awareness workshop. In addition, also farmers talk the upscaling and downscaling to increase farmers that knowledge about the project. And the success of the WADIV in this was that 345 farmers already raised the awareness or received the awareness workshops about the BMB. 4,600 farmers were reached by beneficiaries and professionals in the ministries, and 23 officials was interacted with farmers to increase their awareness about the good agriculture ways. The second output I will talk about is WADIV toolbox. This toolbox is a decision-making tool for officials and farmers in addition. 2 modules was used to make this toolbox. The first one was for water resource simulation, and the second one for agriculture and crop simulation, which is DSAT, and the first one was SWOT mode flow. So what the success is that the toolbox is in final stage, and it will be public for the decision makers in mid-2026. And 1 PhD professional holder will finish her PhD in 2027. For any information, you can contact us in Heliopolis University, me and Dr. Wael as the BI of the project. In addition, there is a link of project you can access the project with. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, audience, we've heard it today. So, for Agri-Tech Advancement in Egypt, we've heard from Mr. Tiberio, make it do your work, market and consumer driven and value chain oriented. Dr. Allah, look at extension services and the powers of tools, digital tools in extension services, work in collaboration. His Excellency added the impact orientation in the work we do. Very clear appeal from Dr. Adel on agri-entrepreneurship and food systems approach. Use then the platforms, the existing business platforms who have a lot of access to knowledge, allow them to give their benefits or help the smaller companies. I don't see technology as a goal, but definitely a means. And then the last example of Dr. Rasna to make collective and community-based learning. And indeed, just look at the best practices, the known best practices, and help farmers in learning by doing. What would you like to add to this, or in this kind of beautiful sum up of great words and things that you say, well, I've heard that before. What do you say we need to be doing as Egypt, as stakeholders here together? Floor is yours. Yes, there's a hand. Can I have a microphone to Dr. Vianney? Oh, I hope that I see some activity and people grabbing a microphone, but I don't. Yes, there's a microphone. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Tico.
It's a short question, short answers. Eh?
Absolutely. So maybe I should stand here. My name is Dora Fiani, and I'm chairing a Knowledge Economy Foundation, an Egyptian NGO, and we are known for having developed the first agribusiness digital platform by the name of Bashair. What I would like to bring to the audience is the fact that we didn't hear much the concept of value chain strategies. And if we are to develop the sector, of course, digital is a tool and not a mean, and we are using in our platform both extension services and marketplaces, but the way forward to achieve better production, more exports, is to have clear value chain strategies supported at national level based on the products where we have an advantage, either in exports or to serve the domestic market, and to literally incentivize all businesses to step into that value chain and make out of it successes. The private sector did it on their own for the citrus, but that's not enough. We can do much, much better than this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Value chain strategies is the key word. Audience or a panel, who would like to comment on that? You had the value chain orientation. Do you also talk in terms of strategies?
Okay. I fully agree. The innovation is not one spot. Innovation is to be part of a complete circle of activities in which the final test is the acceptance by the market and is the premium by the market. If the market is not giving an advance payment or has to give a more price, it means that the value chain is not functioning. You go back in the past, in the tradition. But to have this, we have to be fully aware that changing a value chain cannot allow you to go back again. It is a disaster if you insert in the market a new product, you structure a value chain and you have a stop. This is going to provide frustration to all the actors that you have involved in. And I tell you, no way to recover frustration. You have a common base of production. It is tradition. If you ask to the farmer to change their way of production, it has to be with one only opportunity. Get the success and scale it. No way back. Thank you.
Okay. So aim for clear margins for all in the value chain, so make a good business analysis. Companies are there for profit optimization. That's we all know that. Other thoughts? Who dares? What I'm interested in and I'm intrigued in so everybody is always talking about collaboration, but I see it's very difficult to actually establish collaboration, and that could have institutional hiccups, cultural hiccups. I'd like from the audience somebody to reflect on that or introduce your own item. Now, the EU with such big investment, you must have some thoughts on this, no? Where's the EU table? Yes, there you go.
Thank you very much, Taiko, for this very nice brainstorming of this discussion about the agri innovations and technologies in agriculture. My name is Islam Al-Fadli. I'm a program officer at EU Zara. EU Zara is funded by the EU and implemented by the Italian cooperation in Cairo, in Asyut, Beni Suef, and Sohag. My thoughts in this, as we are all serving the small-scale farmers, the technologies and the new applications and all of these nice tools to help them, I think we need to think a little bit about how to raise the awareness of the agriculture farmers and the small-scale farmers, how to use this stuff. So some like sessions or capacity building or literacy to advance their capability using these technologies is very important. So we can go in a direction to enhance the agricultural services, digitalizing everything. But if the end user is not able to use it and there is no infrastructure enough to support the internet connections and the facilities, it will not work. So the engagement of the end users and the technology has to be like going in the same line and with the same capacity. So I think we need to give more attention to enhance the capacity of farmers to use these technologies. More effort to be paid to enhance this capacity to be able to use the technologies. I know the value chain is important and the market access is very important, but without enough like skills how to use these technologies, it is not going to work. Thank you.
As a condition for that, I always quote GIZ, who start with farming as a business, because I think that is a missing gap, that the many smallholders, many of them will find this very challenging to get to that level. So I'd also like that honesty among us. And how do we deal with those millions of farmers, well, that are there because they inherited a small piece of land?
Tico, excuse me.
Who?
May I comment on this, please?
Yes, please.
Actually, it is what you are referring to, is, Mr. Islam, is very important. And what I'm saying right now is telling you that a simple course on digital skills for rural women have been organized in the mid of the Delta. And you cannot imagine the difference, the impact from this course. And I'm talking about very simple women who it was their first time, for example, to touch or to move the mouse of the computer. I was really amazed to see by the end of the course, one of them started to sell her chicks or chicken by her Facebook page, which is much better than the traders who get used to give farmers unfair prices. So what I'm saying here is the capacity building or the digital capacity of farmers and rural women can make a lot of difference towards the digital transformation in the agriculture sector. Thank you.
Thank you. It's interesting because that indeed requires quite a strategy on how to reach so many people in capacity and knowledge development. Thank you. With that, I'd like to wrap up this session. I think it was very good to see indeed where the search is from quite an abstract level. How do we get to this big thing of this big country on how to improve its agri-tech advancement? But we've heard a lot of good things. Market-driven, collaborative, and a lot is out there. We can just grasp it. Thank you very much. I think we're going to take a photo now together, and then I'm going to introduce the next speaker. Yes. See what. Let's have a photo here at the center.